After things didn't add up and I felt like I was losing my mind, there was a time when every fearful thought required a meeting, every doubt deserved a seat at the table, every what if I failed demanded negotiation. But today's episode is about something radical. I no longer have to visit with that. Not because the thoughts disappeared, not because fear packed its bags, but because I learned something powerful. Fear can ride alone without driving. Let's normalize something. Fearful thoughts do not mean you're broken. Doubts do not mean you are unqualified. Anxious anticipation does not mean stop. Sometimes they are simply echoes of past experiences. Sometimes they are protective adaptations. Sometimes they are outdated survival scripts. But here's the shift. You do not have to entertain every thought that shows up. You can acknowledge it without visiting it. You can hear it without hosting it. You can move forward while it walks beside you. This episode affirms something bold. Fear is an observation from your observer self. You do not have to wait until fear disappears to pursue your goals. Audacity is not the absence of fear. It is movement in spite of it. There is a misconception that confident people do not doubt. They do. They just do not consult doubt before making every decision. Falling may happen. You may miscalculate. You may trust incorrectly. You may step into something that doesn't unfold the way you imagine. But if you have self-realization, you understand your strengths, your patterns, your triggers, and your adaptive capacity. If you have self-actualization, you understand you are growing, you are not fixed, you can recalibrate, and you can re-enter the arena. This is not reckless living, this is strategic courage. Let's mature this conversation. Taking bold steps does not mean ignoring risk. It means calculating the risk, identifying potential outcomes, preparing mitigation strategies, deciding consciously that growth is worth the exposure. Risk management looks like financial contingency plans, emotional regulation practices, clear boundaries, exit strategies if necessary, accountability structures. This is not chaos. This is courage with infrastructure. When a doubtful thought says, "What if I fail?" you can respond, "If I fall, I know how to get up." When fear says, "What if this hurts?" you can respond, "I have tools now." When your mind replays old narratives, "You're not ready," you can say, "I adapt." You do not have to argue. You do not have to suppress. You do not have to spiral. You simply no longer have to visit with it. This episode is an invitation to stop holding yourself hostage to internal weather, to stop postponing your life because fear exists, to stop equating doubt with destiny. You are allowed to move forward while uncertainty breathes down your neck. You are allowed to pursue the goal even if your hands shake. You are allowed to attempt something audacious without a guaranteed outcome. Because falling is not final when you know yourself. When you know yourself, you know how to adapt. When you know how to adapt, you are no longer afraid of movement. Say it with me. I no longer have to visit with that.